Complaining is doing a lot more damage to your life than you think. Venting occasionally to a temporary situation is very different than having complaining as a character trait. If there's something that is bothering your soul, disturbing you, there are only ever two options. Either one, you can do something about it, or two, you cannot do something about it. None of these two options, though, are going to be helped by you continuously talking about the negative effects that situation has on you. Complaining about it continuously will literally make you feel like you're doing something about it because you're spending time on it, like you're spending energy on it. Like, have you ever ranted about something for so long that it literally gives you a headache? Like, it's like the situation already annoyed you, but now you've put so much energy into it and literally exerted yourself to a point where like you're physically drained. And I think it actually keeps you from taking action sooner because it feels like you're doing something about it by continuously surrounding yourself with the problem, like you're actually putting something into it, but nothing ever comes out of it. Genuinely, the way I go about it now is if there is a solution to my problem, I can talk about the problem. I can get it off my chest. But that's it. Like, I give myself a pretty strict limit to how much I'm allowed to talk about it before I either accept that I won't do something about it or I go and do something about it. Because anything else will keep me exactly stuck where I am right now. And you might think, well, but it is my right to complain. Like, if somebody wrongs me or something bothers me, like, it's my right to say something about it. And it's like, sure, you have a right to do so, but why is that a right that you want to exercise? Like, there's a lot of rights that you have, but you should do things and surround yourself with things and put time and energy into things that are good for you, that nourish you, that help you, that like do something valuable for you, and not just be like, well, it is my right to do so. And if it is something that you cannot do anything about, then it's a little trickier because you feel like more helpless about it. So it's like maybe there's some sort of empowerment in like, well, at the very least, I can shine light on how bad it is. But again, it's unnecessary energy that you put into it when, again, you could put that energy into other things that you can change and other things you can focus on so that you don't have so much attention on what is going wrong. This is all about where you're directing your attention to, essentially. One of the most important things, and actually what inspired me to make this video, is how aware you have to be of the circles you're in, and if there's people around you that kind of encourage that behavior of complaining, and also if actually you might be the person that is bringing that sort of energy into circles. I used to have a friend that whenever we would get together, all we would do is complain. All we would do is vent and rant about like people that were bothering us, situations that we were fed up with. And mind you, those are actual issues. Like, there were issues that existed in their own rights. So none of this is me minimizing the actual problems that you're dealing with. They're very real. This has nothing to do with the nature of the problems. But in my thinking, I was like, well, yeah, those problems exist. And I finally, I found someone that understands it and is kind of on my same vibe, where we both are just like, yeah, these things are really messed up, and these things are not okay, and the way that person talked to you is not okay, and the way this is going is not okay. And it felt empowering. There is something very empowering about being the person to call out the things that are going wrong in your life. So all of that felt natural. None of it felt like I was exacerbating the issue or I was exacerbating how miserable I was about this situation by constantly talking about it. That was until that friendship ended eventually, as it sometimes happens. And all of a sudden I felt lighter. All of those problems that I was talking about, they still existed, but they didn't even take up a fraction of what it did before. But being in that friendship and having complaining as such a default mode and almost like an activity, as bad as it sounds, that we would just do together, I didn't even question that I was making it so much worse. I didn't even fathom that I was a contributing factor to how bad I would feel about these things, because in my mind, I was complaining about real issues. And we discount how much power we have over how we feel about certain things. Like, my circumstances didn't change. The problems were still there. I was dealing with the same things with the same people. The only thing that changed was that I didn't have this outlet anymore. And we need to be so mindful about how much power we have over how we feel about our circumstances. We can't always change whatever's going on around us, but we can sure as make ourselves a lot worse, or on the flip side, make ourselves feel a lot better about the situation. And not only was I a lot less miserable after that friendship ended because of like how much complaining became a part of our literal like daily routine almost. It was just something that we would do whenever we would talk. But also, whenever I would rant to this person, my focus would be on like more things to vent about. That's what I mean when I say complaining becomes a character trait. It just becomes something within you. It becomes like a lens. Like, it becomes a lens that you start seeing the world through. So the more you do it, the more you shift your attention to it, and the more things like that will come to your attention, because that's literally becoming your worldview. And when you're in it, it's so easy to not see it and just see yourself as the victim. And that's such a bad, like, starting position to be in, like seeing the world from a perspective of, I'm the victim to my circumstances, and that one thing that empowers me is to talk about it and vent about it. And that's why I feel like we tend to like draw the only sense of power from talking about it. But do you see how like this is just such a fabrication of just miserableness? So again, to sum it up, if you have an issue with something, there are two options. Either you can do something about it or you cannot do something about it. In both of these scenarios, there is actual power that you can exercise. But I promise you that power is not in prolonging the complainification about it. If you can do something about it, there's your power right there. Do it. Do something about the situation to change it. If you're too anxious to do something about it, that's totally understandable. I'm right there with you. Take your time, get your stuff together, but trust me, complaining about it continuously is such a convenient poison and will keep you in that anxiety for so much longer, and it will encourage like rumination cycles and overthinking because you just keep yourself in that negative feedback loop about the same situation. And for people that naturally ruminate and overthink, complaining about it over and over will just keep you exactly in that cycle that's already so difficult to escape. And for the second option, like if you cannot do something about it, I bet my money that there's a million other things in your life that you can do something about. And once you do that, I promise you that whatever it is that makes you feel bad and that makes you feel so negative and like frustrated will take up so much less mental space because you literally are just refusing to give it that much space within you. Just because you cannot change that specific thing doesn't mean you're a complete victim to your circumstances. So I genuinely want to encourage you to be aware of the things that you give your energy to, because whatever you give your energy to will grow. And yes, you have a right to be mad and you have a right to be frustrated, but don't you have the right to have a pleasant life? Don't you have the right to walk around with a little lighter air around you rather than be constantly occupied with things that bother you? That's a right you should want to exercise. The right to a whimsical, happy, jolly life. Be aware of what's truly inevitable in your life and what isn't. Yes, running into unpleasant situations sometimes and being frustrated about things is inevitable. Being continuously miserable about them isn't. Change what you can and leave what you can. Life can already be hard, okay? There's no need to make it harder. This is not about blaming you. This is not about making you feel bad about yourself. This is about how we can make life easier on ourselves. Please like, subscribe, comment if you want, and take care of yourself. I'll see you very soon. Bye-bye.
Dragged by my feet and pulled up by the moonlight. Lungs filled with whole pants caught up in the ribs. I know, don't you